All that remains is for you to decide what you want from this war.
We have come to die for the Dragon Queen.
Very good. We've got more lines to hunt.
Look to the sky. Doom and ruin surround us.
There will be no doubt who the gods have chosen to rule.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Green and Black. This is Mike. That is Justin. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I am doing well, Mike. It's so good to be back on here once again.
Another week. Getting closer to the end. Getting down to maybe start to put some pieces together and figure out where we're going with this whole thing.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
But this is... Go ahead.
It's looking really good for Rhaenyra right now. I mean, this is what she wanted. This is what she wanted.
She did want to be the queen.
Fought so tooth and nail for this, and this is where we're at.
Yeah. So where we at is episode 5, Unbowed and Unbent. And we're going to find out what that means. We're going to find out about a whole other stuff. But what's your overall first reaction to this episode? I know it's probably not that great, right?
This is probably the first time I might call this a little bit of a dull fest. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I watched it fully. And I just honestly, if you should ask me to describe the episode, I will struggle. As you can hear, it was not my favorite. But there were some highlights that I did like, and I know we're gonna hit on, and I'll make sure to let you know when those highlights do come up.
That's really fair. There wasn't this to me was a lot of plate setting, like a lot of, kind of like Daeron and Ormond were playing that, that chess game or whatever.
Yeah.
This is kind of putting pieces in place, getting themselves together and setting things up so that we can get down through, I think, the last 3 episodes of the season. But there's a lot of movement in this one, even though there wasn't really any action in this one, other than, Aemon going kind of berserker for a few minutes there. But
oh my God, he's so, to me, it was so out of character for him.
Yeah. No, definitely. But this was a lot of just kind of putting pieces in place.
You know it. This episode felt very season 2 like. Did we even go back in time? Am I back in season 2?
Uh-oh.
Is this 2024?
It did kind of feel like it, or kind of like one of those, like a mid-season episode of Game of Thrones where it's like, all right, we don't have any dragon money for this episode, so we're just gonna have a lot of people talking, and that'll be fine. No battles, no dragons.
Sorry, budget cuts.
So let's kind of dive into this and go beat by beat, and we start with hopefully you having the lights down in the room, because this is a really dark couple of scenes, dark scene here at the beginning. But this the rivermen, they're camped out by the river. They're on their way to get to King's Landing or Tumbleton, and little Lord Astor's in charge, and he's giving the orders. He's get some guys over to Stony Sept, and he tells Sir Peter to get going, and Sir Peter doesn't even make it to his tent.
Oh no!
And we find out that Kristen Cole's little guerrilla warfare tactic is, at least this time, looks a little successful.
Oh yeah, that was a very eye-opening scene right then and there. It was, to me, it was very shocking because I was not expecting it. And my question to you: do you think Mr. Lord Tony is alive? Because you know the rule: if you don't see a dead body,
you don't see a body. Yeah, I think he probably is, because we see later on that the Tully army has moved across the river and
Oh, they
burned
sure
and is
did.
burning all the fords. So I would imagine that Oscar Tully is still out there directing traffic and telling people what to do. But let's get to the good stuff. So we're back on Harrenhal, and we've got Alice and Aemond. Aemond is Aemond is kind of ironically in the same bed that Daemon was in,
It's the parallels.
which is also, by the way, the bed. I don't think we ever mentioned this. That bed is made of weirwood trees, which are
Oh,
those magic trees that are scattered throughout Westeros, and so maybe that's influencing the dreams that these Targaryen men seem to be having when they're trying to catch some Z's in that bed. And Damon Aemond is obviously having a hard time getting a good night's sleep in. He's not getting his
yeah.
8 in because he's having all kinds of weird dreams and weird things going on. But it seems to me like him and Alice have a much different relationship than
Very
she did with
creepy.
Damon.
Very creepy, in my opinion.
It is. In fact, did you notice when he comes out of the bed and like he's had that dream and he goes to hug her, he says mother.
He sure did. I'm like, is this a mother play type of thing here? And she's fully taking on this role. Like she's cradling him, holding him like a mother would with her child. And
Right.
stuff like this. And I'm just like, what? And you know what? It's bad enough that we seeing him making out with his, well, I wasn't making out, but kissing his mom. But now he's
And
calling,
Madam, what's her name? Madam Sylvie or whatever
oh yeah, in the earlier season, season
in the
two,
earlier
yeah.
seasons in the pleasure house, where he's definitely got mommy issues.
He sure does. He wants to get on with his mom. It's
And
disgusting.
Oedipus complex. And but he she also, she does that. She makes that statement about how, like, what did she say, something about grieving your mom, like your mom is grieving your mom or something, and then I've been grieved. It's like, so I mean, we have to wonder. We know she's really old. We
Yeah.
have to wonder, has she had children in the past, or you know,
Yeah. I'm
don't
trying
really
to
know
figure
what her situation is.
what's her motive? What's the situation? Is she really a goat?
Is she really a goat? And I have to wonder, like, how much, like, she keeps saying she's a witch, but I don't know if we know she's a witch. It's like, how much of her stuff is like trickery? Like the thing with the bats,
I was gonna just get on, yeah. I think
right?
that was
Like
perfect timing.
yeah, but she threw a stone over her shoulder. Like
Yeah.
if you like, it wasn't just like she's standing there and the bats showed up out of nowhere. Like she's Batman. It's like she like did something to cause the bats to
Calls
be
the best to
disturbed.
do like that.
So like, how much of it is like just her being clever, and how much is it of her really having some kind of supernatural ability that we haven't really seen yet? I guess that kind of remains to be seen.
Yeah, I agree. It was just very chilling the fact that after she did that, how nonchalant she was once the bats came, and these guys were freaking out.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah,
a real
she always seems to like maintain, like Damon was the only one who ever got her really upset.
wild up, yeah.
With all the stuff that's going on, and we'll come back to her a couple of times. She's just really even keeled and very level headed and just very in control and very confident.
She knows how to play the game.
She does.
Yeah. I'll tell you, these to me, these side characters really are such great highlights.
They
That's
really
what I love
are.
about these, about the whole Game of Thrones lore. It's not so much about the main characters, but really they really put a light and shining light on these side characters, from Larry Strong to Massaria to
Yeah.
even now Alex Rivers. It's like, oh
Yeah. Well, we're definitely gonna talk about Laris a little bit later, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here in the depth of like these secondary and tertiary characters going on. And it's almost like, Rhaenyra and Alicent and Daemon are almost like taking a back seat to
Yes.
let the rest of this universe fill out, which I think is really kind of interesting.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's actually interesting in a positive light. Like this is really good. I think that's one of the things that Game of Thrones has done really, really well. And I'm glad that we're seeing this with even with House of the Dragon, is that they're really letting these people take, like you said, take the front seat and allow us to have much more lore and mysteries and connecting dots and whatnot.
100%. Absolutely. It's really a great job by the writers to really just kind of flesh this world out and not just be like, oh, we're just going to tell this one little story. Um, so jumping in, so then we wind up with back in King's Landing, we got Orwell sneaking the moon tea
My boy.
into Alicent. He's somebody's boy. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't
He's
forget.
playing three sides to I don't know what he's doing.
It's so funny because until recently he wasn't even on my radar for like the way that he is on my radar right now. Like, who is he really for? But now I know we talked about. Well, I don't know. All right, let me. I won't wait to what I'm going to say. But yes, he definitely gave Allison that moon scene. Alice is not playing around. She really does. She cares about Helena. She cares what little bit of good that's left in her legacy, and I think that is Helena at this moment. But Helena is being getting a little bit more bold, man.
Yeah, she's definitely feeling herself, and when Allison is just
Stressing
like
out.
like two things struck me. One was when Allison is telling her, like trying to tell her, like about like, oh, Aemon still lives, but he's fled, and Helena's like, he's in Harrenhal, and she's like, no, like she's almost like talking to a child, like, no, he was in Harrenhal, but he's left. And Helena's like, no, he's in Harrenhal.
Didn't hear it all. Like, why would I lie to you? I seen it in my dreams.
Eamon still lives, as far as we know.
He's at Harrenhal.
No, he was there, but he has fled. He's vanished.
I've seen him. He burns, but without fire.
And I love how Helena's throughout this whole series, she's been saying these things and having these dreams, and no one's not even paying attention to her. That's the funniest things. Oh my gosh. I
And people
find,
should, because she's
I would take her to the casino with
she's
me.
not wrong.
Yeah. Take her to the casinos, let her figure out some things. Let's get some money.
Absolutely. I see the dice coming up 5.
Bye. She said five. Yeah, five it is. Five it is. Five. I got five on it.
But then the second thing is obviously her taking a stand, right? And
Oh,
Allison's coming at her hard with just pretend it's tea. It's just tea. Just drink the tea, and it's no
yeah.
big deal. And then like she literally tried everything. She tried gaslighting her.
Yep.
She tried cajoling her. She tried getting angry with her.
Of
Like she
course.
literally tried everything she could. And Helena's just not having it. And she comes up with that,
She even decided
it's
to tell the
mine.
truth. Yeah, that was a powerful scene. She said, "It's mine, something that I have, something that I control." That was very powerful. And she told her the straight up truth. Like, if that is a boy, that boy would not have that boy would not have a long life.
No. Yeah. Which, and again, when we talk about this lively, there's all this speculation about, oh, who's the father, blah, blah, blah. Like the show at this point is assuming that Aegon is the father, and that is
Yeah.
really kind of
Literally.
the only thing that makes sense right now. So I'm just going to go with that. But yeah,
Same.
if this is Aegon's son, then this is an heir to the throne. This is a potential threat to Rhaenyra and her sons and her legitimacy. So she would, need to take action. Daemon would. But all right, we'll get to Daemon in a minute. Look, she was really trying to sell it and Helena was just not really having any of it at all.
Not at all.
You know who else is not having it? Sabitha Frey. Lady Frey is not having anybody having Harrenhal but her.
She was fine. She said, "Your son promised, but my son's dead." Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, so I find out."
And I love how Rhaenyra was all like, "Well, you have the opportunity to take hold of Harrenhal once again. You just got to bring me Aegon's, Aemon's head."
Recompense for House Frey's loyalty. But Harrenhal was to be our recompense. Payment for giving your winter wolves passage across the Twins, promised by your own son. My son is dead. And now I discover that you have pledged our castle as a trophy, free to any hedge knight who can bring you the head of Aemon Targaryen. You yourself are welcome to try. Cregan Stark's army has crossed the Trident, and we expect the Crown's word to be honoured. No matter
she's like, she's like, you'll give it to any sellsword who, brings you to Aemon's head. She's like, you're welcome to try.
I was
Go
laughing
for it.
at that. I was cracking up. This
contest is open to everybody.
Well, there's no discrimination.
The funny part is that in the book, Sabitha Frey is she's she seems to be a lot younger, and she's like out with the army. I think I like this Sabitha Frey better.
Oh yeah, she's interesting.
This older woman who is just not having anything and is like, look, we bent the knee to you, we supported you, we made a deal with the crown through your son, and we expect you to honor your deal. And that's pretty bold coming at Rhaenyra like that.
Yeah. She's not, but Rhaenyra's not good. She's not good at keeping up with her deals. Because I'm thinking also even with Lady Aaron and all this stuff. By any means necessary during the time, but no.
Yeah, I think she's coming to learn that like heavy is the crown, right? It's not as easy as it seemed, and there's a lot of moving pieces that you need to have.
Yeah.
Everybody's demanding something from you. You need to appease everybody. Yes, you're the queen, you're the ruler, you're the ultimate power, but there's a lot of politics at play as well. You can't just dictate. You've got to get buy-in from people, and she's discovering that's, especially in her state of mind, she's a little too hyper-focused on certain things, but
revenge.
Yeah.
Daemon, believe it or not, Daemon being a voice of reason.
Sorry, so let's talk about Daemon. It's like, so we have the small council meeting, Lady Frey is now on the small council.
Oh, that was hilarious too.
And her and Torrin Manderly like over in the corner, like a couple of school kids. Like they're the new kids, and they're like trying to explain to everybody what's going on.
That was cracking me up. They have this intense conversation, and he's filling her in. He said, meanwhile, Daemon messed with Mysaria, and now Mysaria is messing with Rhaenyra, but Rhaenyra is married with Daemon, so you see how there's a lot of tension between these three. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and Daemon comes in and like kind of on the down low, like Daemon's pretty much always right.
He is. He's sound reason.
There's all these things. He's like, we should have done this. We should burn these people. We should kill this guy. We should, we should do this. We should do that. And they ignore him.
Yeah.
And except that, if they'd have done the things that he had suggested doing, they probably would be a little better off right now.
I honestly agree with you wholeheartedly. We're meant to look at David thinking being like a hothead, still in this Prince of the Prince of the Flea Bottom type of mentality, just wanting for lust and fighting. But no, this David that we have here, he's been through some stuff. He sees some stuff and he understands. He understands what needs to be done, and he keeps it real. He really keeps he's keeping it real on the council with Rhaenyra and all the councilmen and women, and he's keeping it real. Just telling it like it is. And like you said, no one's listened to. And I think Rhaenyra has too much in her head that she still really thinks that he is trying to one up her and taking over the throne. But I don't see that at this moment.
No, I mean he's definitely maybe not giving her the deference that he should.
Really,
Mainly
you
because
think so?
well, I mean, he literally is like she gave him a straight up command, and he's like later.
Yeah, he did say that. But I felt like it was for good reason. Like
I'm
that's
not
not
saying
the
I'm not saying
priority.
it wasn't for a good reason, but your queen, he just like, and he just picked up a sword and left. He's just like, no, I'm not doing that now.
I'm in the mood to suggest. What does it make of me if you will obey me only at a time and place of your own choosing?
You are the queen. I act in your interest.
Good. My interest is Vhagar.
Mine too, but we have time enough. Aemond is afraid. He's fled once already before you. We are in no danger.
There is treachery somewhere, and I seek to uncover it.
What you seek is revenge. And gods know, I do not grudge you that, but revenge may wait.
He just booked out of the small council meeting in front of the rest of the council, and so he's kind of pushing the edges a little bit. But I think he sees, like, I think you're right. He's doing it for the right reasons. He's like,
Right.
she's coming apart. She's not handling this right.
Everybody's coming after her now.
Everybody's coming after her. I need to take care of this but I think he is legitimately doing it for her.
I agree. And I need Rhaenyra, if you're listening to this, Rhaenyra, I need you to wake up and recognize that Daemon is for you.
Yeah. Stop listening to Masara and
God bless
listen to
his heart.
Daemon.
Yep.
Because Daemon knows what he's talking about. He
Yes.
has not been wrong yet.
Thank you. You, on the other hand, we don't want to go down that alley. That might have to be his own podcast, don't you think, Mike?
What's that?
Our own podcast on how many mistakes Rhaenyra has made within these last few
seriously.
episodes.
Seriously, we could start a list.
Oh gosh.
So then we get out to Rook's Rest, and like occurred to me when we were finished last week, when I was editing last week, I'm like, we didn't even touch on. We completely forgot about Larys and Aegon last week.
We didn't talk about them?
We didn't really talk about them that much.
Oh wow.
But that's okay, because they had a really good episode.
They sure
and
did.
I think we're gonna wind up seeing more of Aegon through the last 3 episodes of this season, because if it stays close to what the arc in the book is, he's going to be he needs to be kind of a little like back, so to speak. And I think we're starting to see him taking a little of his agency back. And, him and Larys have this conversation. Well, they have a couple of them, but this first one where he just kind of like really
he goes
expounds his rage on his brother and basically blames everything on his brother. And you start to feel like he's a terrible person, as we find out later, but you really feel empathy for him in a way, and what he's feeling, and how like Rhaenyra, how unprepared he was.
Yeah.
To take on this responsibility, and the fact that because Aemon had better talents in terms of his fighting ability, and he was more aggressive, that he was kind of like the favorite, so to speak.
Right.
And even though Aegon was the older brother, and you really feel his rage in this, this moment where he's talking to Laris.
Yeah. He really wants to kill his brother. And then also with his mom, it was such a unique parallel how he was talking about just the fact that like the love of the mom and how she was giving it towards like Aemon, and then Aemon was doing the same thing. Meanwhile, back in King's Landing, Allison doesn't give like two craps about them. But yeah, that was such a very powerful scene, very powerful portion of just seeing with Aegon. And I hate that scene because it made, like you said, it made me really empathize with Aegon. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to like the person. I'm supposed to hate him. He's Team Green. I'm clearly Team Black. But they're making me really see him and really draw a connection with him.
100%. I absolutely agree. They're really trying to, and I think that's important. That's going to be important, but they're really trying to set him up as kind of more of a interesting, sympathetic character.
There you go.
So that he's not just like this one note, guy. He's more complex than that. He's got nuance, and he's got different facets to his personality, which I think, is going to make it more interesting as his story develops.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Fortunately, I'm looking forward to seeing that. But Laris, man, he laid it hard on him. He says
He did.
He says not only you.
He really did. And, I mean, it was a great speech.
Yeah.
And he's right. That a lot of the position that Aegon finds himself in, or the choices that he made, and the fact that he slacked off with a lot of things.
You could have risen to greatness, but instead you trampled your birthright in the mud. You lazed, reveling in mediocrity, drinking yourself into oblivion with your sycophantic friends. I will tell you the truth. You were a terrible king. But worse than that, you are a terrible man.
Yeah, I agree.
But on the other hand, like Laris lecturing Aegon about how he's a terrible person, that's a little weird, given the fact that like Laris basically killed his whole family off.
He sure did. But you know what that tells you, Mike? You know you're really a horrible person when a horrible person tells you
that you're a horrible person.
So that just speaks volumes. Like I think I didn't even put that together until you just said it. Like I forgot that he did kill his father and brother. In that regard.
Yeah, but I think this is really this is an important moment for Aegon, because I think he doesn't go off in a rage. He doesn't. It's almost like he really does internalize this.
Yeah.
And when he comes back to Laris later, and we'll get to there later, when he comes back to him, he's like, "Yeah, just hire the ship." It's almost like he is he's listening to Laris, and even though he's angry, he's realizing that Laris is right.
Yeah.
That I've made terrible choices, and I was not a good king. But I can change that. I can change myself. I can make a difference. I can listen to what he's telling me. And because even though Laris himself is a terrible person, he's also a very smart person. And I can take what he's giving me and turn it around and use it for myself. So yeah. I think there was a lot of real development for Aegon in these two scenes, between him, this catharsis of letting that rage out at Aemon, and then taking it back in from Laris, aiming at him. It's like, I was like, okay, I think I understand. It's almost like he finds a balance between, blaming other people, external forces for all the things that have happened to him, but also realizing a lot of it is his own choices.
Absolutely.
So we have a quick scene. I'm not going to go into that much with Allison and Massaria. Massaria like kind of catches her out, finds out about the moon. Figures out about the moon tea. Is trying to get some information out of her. Like, oh, who is this
That's
lover?
some filler stuff right
Is he
there.
a lord or is he a commoner or both? Or it's like
she said, "Tell me more. Tell me more."
Yeah, she's just like I don't know, man. It's just I think she's like a weak spot in this season,
Really?
Yeah, I kind of do.
That's out.
And it's not, maybe it's not so much the act, maybe it's just they're not writing well for her, but
I think, you know what? If you're patient, I think if you continue to be patient with this character, I think the payoff is going to be big. And I thought it was very interesting how, first of all, I thought it was interesting to see scenes with Allison and what's her name? Masara? I keep on messing-
Saria.
Masaria. Very interesting. That's what I do like about Game of Thrones. They put people you would never expect together. But those were very interesting. But Allison made it very clear. Listen, you scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch yours. Like there might be a chance where Rhaenyra might lose some power, and that's the chase. I'm gonna give you some of this pie, and you're reading her face. Rosaria, she's not stupid now. She knows, like, hey, if Plan A goes to fire, I'm gonna be safe in my in my arms. In her, yeah, I'm gonna be safe.
Yeah, I guess she's kind of like Orwell that way. She's just kind of playing both sides and just kind of, let me build a bridge a little bit towards Allison in case things break that way.
Yes. And
also things aren't really breaking the way that I want them to break with Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra's listening to me, but she's not really listening to me.
Yeah. And Allison made that comment. She said at the end of the day, Rhaenyra's gonna have Daemon, the one who came through. It's gonna be her and Daemon. But she's letting her know. You're gonna be pushed. And I think we're gonna see that. We're gonna see a moment of that where it's gonna be very clear that Rhaenyra picked Daemon over Marsaria, and she's gonna be in her feelings. And I think I wasn't expecting it, but I think she's gonna betray Rhaenyra.
I would not be surprised.
Which is gonna hurt me, man. That's gonna hurt. But I think that's gonna cause her downfall and her death. Kind of like Varys with Daenerys.
Yeah. I think the difference though is that I think Varys was always true to one thing, and that was like he was concerned about the people and the commoners, and like from day one. That was his concern, and I think his betrayal of Daenerys came more from the fact that she was turning into something that he couldn't deal with, or that was not palatable to him. Like she was not what he thought she was, and but I don't think it was a matter of him turning. I think or being selfish. I think Massaria is like very, I don't want to say selfish, but she's big into self-preservation, and she acts out of that. I don't think that's necessarily the case with Varys. I think Varys is more concerned about justice, like real social justice, and he just saw Daenerys turning away from that in a way, and so he had to make a choice. I think Massaria is she's more just like, I need to survive, and I need to do whatever I need to do to survive.
Oh, yeah, that was really interesting just to hear that. Yeah. I'm sorry. This reminds me of this show called, it's an animation show. It's called Traders. Have you ever watched that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Mike, side plug. You need to watch that show.
Traitors?
The Traitors. Believe it or not, you know who's the host? Alan Cummings.
Oh, really?
Oh, Mike, I might hit you up afterwards because it's like literally low key probably one of my top favorite shows. I put it up there with House of the Dragon. It's a reality show, by the way. But anyways, with the Traitors is that you have to just like three moles in a group of 20 people, and
Okay.
and I make this real fast. And the goal is you have to eliminate people who you think every night you have to figure out. You get together. And you have to nominate who you think is the mole, who you think is the traitor. And the traitors have to act like the faithfuls. And in the end, if the traitors make it to the very end, to like the last people, any one of the traitors, they get $250,000. If the faithfuls eliminate all the traitors and they make it to the end, they get the $250,000. So I'm bringing this up because this show is reminding me so much of that. It's like, oh my gosh, you're really trying to guess who is who's a traitor, who's a faithful. Like Rhaenyra, I feel bad for you, Rhaenyra, because I feel like you're in a room full of traitors, and you're thinking these are all faithfuls. I'm putting a low key note right now that after this podcast, I have to send you the link. Good news, they did 4 seasons, Mike. Each season is incredible.
You know, it's funny that you should say that because there you know, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on that are going to go on in the show.
Right.
There are characters that there's a couple of characters in the show that are known as like the two traitors. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Okay.
But it's funny that you should say that because that's actually like a really big point in the story.
Is it gonna shock me when I find out who they are?
I don't think so. I think they still have some work to do on them to get you there, but I think the seeds have been laid already. And I think I think you will probably figure it out before it happens.
Right.
But I would imagine it's going to happen this season. So.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, okay, okay. All right, I had to process that. That's crazy.
So then we have a little scene with walking through the woods with Gwen and Kristen Cole, and Gwen does the way wrong thing. So we find out a couple of interesting things, right? Gwen is telling the story about playing like racing up the tower in Old Town and with his cousin who, you know, Ormond, and how he let him win.
Very interesting.
And yeah, because as we will learn very shortly, he's not a good loser.
Well, I see that too. Like when he threw that temper tantrum when he found out Vagar was not going to join him.
Right. Yeah. So, but then also Gwen is like, he's like, you know, he like offers Cole like a place in Old Town. He's like, you should come to Old Town. You should live with us and serve House Hightower. And that was the way wrong thing to say. You know,
yeah.
One, because it's like, okay, this dude he's the hand of the king right now. Like, you know, if you're on this side, if you're on the side of Aegon, you're one of the Greens, then Aegon is your king. Kristen Cole is the Lord Hand. Like, he's the second most powerful person in Westeros. And and you're offering him like a knighthood in, you know, a servant's job. And, you know, so we're going to see that does not pay off.
Man, I learned my lesson, man. Anytime someone offers you something, a peace and a happiness, or they say, you know, when this is all over, let's go to such and such place, like you always wanted to go, just know that person, that's that other person, or one of the two people are not gonna be able to experience that. So that was my way of foreshadow that something's gonna happen to either Gwen or more so Crispy Crow, which I've been waiting. I'm like, this is such a slow burn. This person is supposed to die like 6 episodes ago, but okay, let's just keep it. Let's keep me waiting.
Maybe not much longer.
We have to see. I hope I have something for you next week.
I'm not going to say that's impossible.
Right.
And we'll talk a little more at the end because Cole has actually a pretty good scene at the end of this. But we find that Lord Oscar Tully and his guys can play the guerrilla warfare game just as well.
Yep.
And they set out a little booby trap for the horses.
Oh, that was cold-blooded. That was cold-blooded.
Yeah. It was not cool for the horses, but
No. And he was gangster too. I think it was the Crystal. He took out that little sword and just took care of business and put that horse out of his misery.
So then Daemon is walking around with the City Watch and we find out that there's people in the city who are killing City Watch gold cloaks and in pretty brutal, vicious way.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Very season 5 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's interesting. I don't know if you clocked this, but they showed the scene where like the informant goes back to the guy who's kind of coordinating it, who's passing the messages. And two things I just want to kind of point out there is one is he's one of the soldiers. He's one of the Hightower soldiers that Alicent told to stand down and let Rhaenyra into the city.
Interesting.
Yeah, remember because there was she had gave that little speech is like, would you fight and have people die, or would you stand down and let Rhaenyra come in? And there was the guy she was talking to, and then there was the guy behind him who came up, and they gave his face like a big close up in the camera, and that's the guy.
Yeah.
And you can tell because he has heterochromia. He's got two different color eyes.
Yeah, I noticed that guy before. Yes.
Yeah, so that's that guy.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's a Hightower soldier who's obviously living as a spy in Flea Bottom right now. But also, when he's sending the messages out, he's using pigeons.
He sure is.
Right? Because Visaria and Orwyle are watching for ravens.
Oh my gosh, these guys are playing they're playing a unique game that they have, not the chess game, but
yeah,
they really are playing this game.
So I thought that was just some interesting.
That was thank you. No, seriously, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't catch that at all.
Speaking of chess, or shall I say, speaking of Savas,
I'm listening.
We have Ormond and Daeron having a little bit of a game, and having a little bit of a conversation, and this is he tells the story, I think interestingly, of Maria Martell.
Oh, this is good. Yes.
And this is where we get the title to the episode, because that is part of the Dornish words, right?
Yes, unbroken.
Unbowed, unbent, unbroken.
Yes.
But he's telling this really interesting story about Maria Martell and how she stood up to Aegon.
The Targaryens knew nothing of our civilization, the faith, the citadel. What they had What they still have is strength. Their armies, the obscenity of their dragons. Maria Martell outwitted her enemy. A cunning mind can resist the most savage of beasts. And Dawn remains unbroken, even today.
Yeah, they're the only ones that ever think like that was the Aegon and the dragons.
Right. And you know how she would fight with Aegon against the Storm King because she hated that guy, but she would not bend the knee herself. And you know how she really, she was just really there to fight back and hold her own, and you know how Dorne remained unbowed and unbroken. But meanwhile, they're playing this game of Sivas, which is, the Westerosi version of chess. And, Ormond's talking about, like, he gives this kind of, lesson to Daeron about how, the one thing that the Targaryens have, is strength, the strength of their armies, their dragons. And it's obvious, what he thinks about dragons. He does, which is weird because Daeron is a dragon rider.
Yeah.
But, I think he's, thinking that he's going to be able to kind of work his way out of it. I don't know what his plan is. Whether he's planning on having something happen to Tessarion or whether he's just thinking that he can have Daeron just not ride him or not, not get to that point, whatever. But
if he does something like that, it will have to be after the main threat. My mind's like he'll still need that dragon to take on the other dragons. That's like the smallest dragon on there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you got to fight dragon with dragon.
Right. But here's what I think is interesting: is when Daeron makes the move,
the
checkmate move, right? The piece that he's using is the dragon.
Oh.
So it's like Ormond has tried to get him to kind of deny his dragon hair, his dragon blood. But when he goes for the kill, he uses the dragon. And I think that's a lot of foreshadowing going on.
I was just gonna say, do you think this is some foreshadow? Oh my gosh, Mike. This show, this is a show. This is a show we're watching, man. I can't. You think you have this show figured out, and everything everybody's flipping tables and whatnot. I'm very curious to see now I'm very more curious to see what's gonna happen with Prince Daeron, especially his role with his relationship with Ormond. And then, like you said, that's gonna be a bit of a foreshadow of him possibly portraying Ormond.
Possibly. Possibly, or winding up, in a position where, because don't forget, and we said this last week, he's the prince.
He absolutely is.
Right? I mean, Ormond in his own right is a pretty powerful person. He is. I don't know if, because they're not making it clear, is his father dead at this point?
There's no mention. Yeah.
I don't know. We've seen his father. His father came. He was in season 1, and he was there, and he bent the knee. His father bent the knee to Rhaenyra, and so there was, or swore fealty to Rhaenyra, to Viserys, and so his father was certainly around in the beginning, but it's is he the Lord of Old Town now? I mean, I don't know or is he, going to be, I don't know. They're not really clear on that, whether his father is still alive or not.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I've seen some people refer to him as Daeron's uncle. He's not Daeron's uncle. He's Daeron's cousin.
He's cousin.
Yeah. So
Second cousin.
So yeah, so Ormond's father is Otto's brother,
Yes, that makes sense.
and he's the older brother. So when their father died, he's the Lord of Old Town, and Otto is the younger brother and out, which is why he goes to court. And so the line passes now to Ormond, who becomes the Lord of Old Town when when his father died. I just don't know if that's happened yet or not. I guess at this point it probably doesn't really matter all that much, but and so he goes out and has coins minted with Daeron's face on them, which will come back to haunt us later.
Oh yes. Well, Rhaenyra, of course.
Yeah, but he's full into this, like, we're gonna make Daeron king. I know there's still, Aemon and Aemon floating around out there, and there's other kids and stuff like that. I'm not gonna worry about that.
This is the real threat right now.
Yeah. And that whole, never apologize for victory thing.
I love when he said that. That's a quotable line.
Yeah.
Never apologize for victory for victory. Oh, that might be a Facebook status later on today.
So we have a scene out there with Alan and Bela, or Adam and Bela, I mean, and Bela is like trying to prove herself, and Adam is just like, "Hey, man, we need a nap. We need a nap and a burger."
Yeah.
And maybe we need to get out of here. He is he's not pulling his weight right now. I think he will eventually, but right now he's not pulling his weight.
He's not. I feel bad for her because she started like she mentioned, like, Rhaenyra's not even looking at her, right? I know Rhaenyra is grieving and whatnot, but
right.
You can tell that she's putting the blame still of Jace's death on Bela.
Yeah.
And Bela's really feeling the blunt of that.
Yeah. Ooh, wait till she finds out.
Woo!
I mean, and that's by the way, that's gonna have to be a big part of it too, right?
She's gonna find out her sister, yeah.
But well, beyond that, it's Daemon, really.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a betrayal. Like she sent Daemon to go find Sheep Stealer's rider, and Daemon lied to her about it and is protecting. Granted, it's his daughter, but that's a big betrayal, and that's gonna have to come at some point, become a thing.
Do you blame Daemon though? What would you do in Daemon's shoes?
Look, I get it. He really didn't have much of a choice. I mean, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
But it's not her daughter. And
yeah, too.
And so and you know how obsessed she is with it. She's not being rational.
Yeah. And the fact that she gave Raina a job. She said, "You have literally one job. Be a mother to my other kids. That's it. Just be a mother and tend to them. And not only you're not doing that, but you're killing my other kids."
Yeah.
It's like you're doing the total opposite of what you do.
You're doing a terrible job.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. We'll have to report this to HR.
And so speaking of Rhaenyra, Rhaenyra and Daemon have another meeting in the Sept this time, and this is the same altar where Rhaenyra met with Alicent last season, and or was it it was last season, right? Where she was like,
last season.
She was like, "You dumb idiot! It was the Conqueror, not your stupid son."
Yeah,
and what really struck me is like how fatalistic Rhaenyra is becoming. Right? Like she's just like very much like kind of, I don't know, she's like kind of
you're losing it, bro.
What's that?
No, I think she's just flat out losing it.
She is. She's like, you're right. She's completely losing it.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like watching like a damsel in distress, like tied up on a train track, and you're seeing the train track coming. It's coming slow, but it's coming. And that's what we're seeing right now with Rhaenyra. Like that disaster is about to happen. And I'm just, oh, I can't stop watching. I want to stop, but I can't.
Yeah, it's true. It's like she's going down this path, and you know where this is going to lead, and this is not leading anywhere good. And she's like, she's so committed. That's what I mean. She's like so committed to this path she's on.
She's so blind. She's blind that she's not aware of her.
She's so obsessed with Vhagar.
Downfall.
Yeah, she's so obsessed with Vhagar. She's so obsessed with Aemond to the point where she's not even looking at anything else.
Yeah.
Like we need to find Vhagar now. Like
she's very much awash, dare you say. As she told Hugh the Hammer.
So we're back in Rook's Rest, and like we said, Aegon comes back to Larys. He's like, okay, fine, just hire the ship. Let's go. We'll go. And apparently, Tywin Lannister is a hell of a swimmer.
He sure is. I tell you, the rule is if you don't see
40 pounds of armor, 40 pounds of armor and a big current, and he's good.
He can swim, man. The Lannister's gonna land, man. They're always gonna pay the debt somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. So this did not surprise me at all, because there's no way that Tywin Lannister was dead.
Yeah.
Because he's so integral to the story that there's just no way that he's dead. So in the book, he was never at, like I think I said this, he was never at the Gullet. He was in King's Landing the whole time. He was not negotiating with the Taroshi pirates. That was Otto who did that. But what's important is that his job, he was the master of coin. He knows where the money is.
Oh boy. And he's aware. And he must know. Oh man. Oh, I'm not liking where this is going. Not at all.
Yeah, I mean it may turn bad. He's obviously trying to get Aegon to go to Lannisport. And I don't know if that's because he really feels that's the safest place for him, or if he is, trying to, like everybody, trying to maintain some level of control.
Yeah, I wonder if he's aware if Rhaenyra's sitting on the throne. I'm pretty sure he is.
Joffrey, Janis, that's his name. Janis finds the crown.
Oh.
And I thought that was a great moment for Aegon,
Yes, I loved it.
You can call me your grace.
Yep. That's the last thing you're going to hear before you die.
Yeah.
Call me your grace.
And this is what I mean. I think Aegon is starting to really come back into his own, and we're going to wind up seeing
the fruits of that. Absolutely. I mean, I don't, as a Black fan, Team Black fan, I don't know if I want to see that, but I can get with it. And don't forget about the prophecy that Helena said. I don't know if it was season 1 or season 2, but she told Aemon that Aegon will take the seat again.
Right.
So I don't know what that looks like. I'm not a book reader. I don't know. I'm just going based off what she said. So I think his story is yet to be done. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna be played out.
Yeah, Aegon's got a lot left to do in this. And Thailand has a lot left to do, and that's why and things do not go well for him. So, but he winds up okay, but you know, if it stays true to the book, he winds up pretty decently, but he goes through a very difficult path to get there. So this is going to be an interesting group of people to watch.
Interesting.
Is these guys here? So you know, we're back in King's Landing, and Alicent and Helena are trying to sneak out. They get caught by Massaria. She really wants to get out of there. And then they, you know, and then they wind up like finding the secret passage. This is the weird part. I don't know where this is going. They find the passage, right? And this is, you got to remember, this is Rhaenyra's old room.
Oh yeah, she sure.
Where she used to sneak out.
She sure did.
But for some reason, the door has been disabled from the front, from the outside, so they can't get back into the bedchamber, and it's been blocked off. So now they're stuck in the walls. And I don't know where that's leading. The only thing that I can think of is that Massaria finds them and uses that as leverage. That's really all I can think about. Like, I can't see any other way about this.
You think?
I mean, they're stuck in the wall. What would the payoff be? Like, who could find? Somebody has to get them out of there. Who could find them that it would be like a worthwhile payoff?
It is all roads are leading to me. All roads are leading to Massaria, but I feel like that portion kind of ended when they had that last conversation where Allison said, "Listen, I got something for you, and you're gonna want that." Like, what else? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just don't see what the payoff to this is going to be.
Yeah, I think they might try to use that again. Like, it's obvious they showed us this. Like, they went through this. I don't know how they're gonna break out of it. Like, you know, eventually down the road, maybe the dragon man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know either.
But yeah, at this point, if I was Allison, I'll be like, I want to say something so inappropriate and so out of character for me. Yeah, this is very out of character for me, but I'm going to say FDK. FDK. And just worry about herself.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what FDK is, I'm sorry, I can't help you.
So, go ahead.
I'm just saying, because at this point, man, them kids are just driving you up the wall. Just go, you leave and you go live a happy life. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, okay. So we're back at Harrenhal, and there's more sellswords that are coming to try to find Aemon. Everybody's out there trying to find Aemon. These guys are Ironborn, apparently. Because because they did say, one of them does say to Alice, you know, that I'll make you my salt wife, and that's an Ironborn thing.
There it is.
But this is where Aemon comes out and goes like full berserker.
Slicing and dicing.
Seriously, slicing and dicing. And she's like, I guess you're better.
Yeah.
So he's back. We still don't know where Vhagar is. You know, Vhagar's out burning stuff. We don't know what she's doing. She's not there. She's kind of like off doing her own thing. So, he's gonna have to figure out a way to get back with her. Apparently, we have a. I thought this was pretty good. We had a little pep talk from Daemon to the City Watch, because they're all nice. You know, they're all pretty pissed off because they haven't gotten paid, and guys are getting killed, and you know, those two things don't really go together. But Daemon gives them, you know, a little speech and a little pep talk. It's like, remember when?
Without the City Watch, without us, these streets would echo with the cries of insurrection. The alleys of King's Landing would boil with corruption and depravity. I look to you now to uphold your vows to the city and to the throne. Trust in your queen, and I pledge you, you will be repaid twice over for the sacrifices you make now.
You know, we took control of the city and we got everything under order, and where would they be without us? And you know, when as Rhaenyra grows her empire and all these riches come in, you got who's going to get paid first? And
right, yeah,
I thought it was he did a pretty good job. He turned them around pretty well,
quick and fast.
You know, they wind up catching one of the rebels and a little bit of a torture scene there. Not very good.
Yeah, I just think overall that was just a nice little playback to, like, even with season 1 when you see Daemon being like the head of the globe cloaks and
Yeah,
whatnot. But man, this is
he's back to being Batman right now.
he really is. That was really powerful, really touching of that. But
Yeah,
they
and he
got
finds. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. And then what?
He finds the coin. The guy gives up the coin. You know, so he knows that this is Ormond who's doing this. And he shows Rhaenyra. He's like, and he's right again. We should have burned him out.
Yeah, I told you so.
Just put that on the list.
Put that on another list of I told you so.
And then we're down to kind of the last 2 beats, and I think they're both actually really kind of strong, and they're kind of intercut with each other. One is, Gawain and Kristen Cole, and Gawain's like, look, we got to get out of here. They outnumber us to this, that, the other thing, and he realizes his mistake, right? That he thought Cole was in this thing to win it, and Cole's not in this thing to win it.
Nope.
Cole knows he can't win it.
I will not return. Spurned. Rejected. I am the realm's greatest warrior, and I will die as such. Clear-eyed, unbent, glorious in battle, and not in their service, finally, but in my own. And they will sing songs of it. And Queen Alicent herself will hear them.
And he's like really nihilistic at this point. And he's just like, and he gives this, this thing is like, I'm done being a servant. You offer me a servant's job, and I'm grateful, but I'm done being a servant. I'm done with anybody else's agenda except my own.
Yep.
I'm not gonna live through this. It's really, kind of this, like I said, like this nihilistic attitude he's having. He's like, he knows he's not going anywhere. He knows he's not going home. He knows this is it. I'm going to remain, and I think he says it right. He says, I'm going to remain unbowed, and we're reminded that, he's Dornish ethnically.
Right.
And, so you take that, the story of that Ormond was telling, and his, Kristen Cole's attitude about just remaining unbent, remaining unbroken. I'm going to, he throws that line up there about how I'm the best warrior in Westeros. It's like, are you though?
I don't know, that's very cocky.
I think Daemon and Aemon want to have a word with you about that, but
yeah,
but it's really, and then he does this, he keeps talking over this sequence of Daemon like walking through the City Watch headquarters and coming on this tableau of the table.
Right.
And it's really like, wow, okay. This is something different. This is really crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I think it's a, it's a good setup for where we're going. I mean, certainly there's a couple of battles coming up. All right, so I mean, let's get into mild book spoilers right now. There's a couple of battles coming up that are going to become important, and one's called the Butcher's Ball. That's going to involve the Rivermen and the White Wolves and Kristen Cole and Gawain and their armies and stuff like that. And then there's a battle at Tumbleton. Actually, there's two battles in Tumbleton. That's going to be a big dragon battle thing as well. So I would imagine maybe they save that for. So where are we? That was 5. So we have 6, 7, and 8. So I'm thinking maybe they do the Butcher's Ball next episode. They do Tumbleton in 7, and then we're picking up the pieces for episode 8.
Then pick up the aftermath for episode 8.
Yeah, that's where I think we're going. That's my prediction.
That's gonna be. Do you know what? I'm most looking forward for episode 7 because I feel like that's really always the meat and potatoes of the series of episode.
It is, but the Butcher's Ball is gonna be. You're gonna like the Butcher's Ball too.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a couple of good episodes. I think the next 2.
I can't wait, man, because this past episode, I already said it. It's a little bit of a snooze fest, but I have faith. Overall, still an amazing season.
Yeah, like episode 4 to me was kind of weak. I think this one, just because of all the pieces that it was moving around, I think to me it was more interesting. But I understand what you're saying because there was like really no action at all in it other than that one scene with Aemon.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew, what a ride, man! I'm telling you,
it is. And yeah, so Ben, and be careful being on the web next week because, or this week or next week? I think it's next week. San Diego Comic-Con is, I think, next week.
Labor Day weekend, right?
No, it's like next week.
Oh yes, yes, it is. It is.
July 23rd. Oh, it starts this weekend. Starts tomorrow.
Oh my gosh!
And the reason I'm saying that is because they're doing a panel. They're doing a House of the Dragon panel on Saturday, and they're going to be showing the episode at that panel. So there's going to be spoilers out.
Oh my gosh,
so you got to be careful on Sunday. Just stay off it.
I will. I certainly will. I'll try my best.
It'd be interesting to see too what they're gonna do as an aside. What they're gonna do about like Doomsday, right? Because they just dropped the trailer, so that's not going to be it. Marvel's doing a panel, so I wonder what they're going to. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be announcing like new projects and stuff like that, but they can't ignore Doomsday.
They sure cannot. That movie is.
So they're gonna have to give people something. So I wonder if it's going to be like more casting that they haven't announced, because there's people that should be in it that they haven't announced yet.
Right.
They haven't said like Halle Berry's going to be in it. They haven't said like Famke Janssen's going to be in it.
Oh, my wife and my ex-girlfriend, yes. Halle Berry. That's kryptonite right there, and that's a DC from yes.
So,
by the way, I don't know if you got your tickets for Doomsday.
I did.
That was hell. You did?
Yeah, we have tickets. We're going on Sunday.
Yeah. You guys are on Sunday. I don't know how you're gonna do it, Mike. There's no way because the sport is gonna be everywhere. But I salute to you.
Yeah, but for that, spoilers don't bother me for something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
It bothers me. I don't like. I like to be surprised.
Because they're adapting a well-known story. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah. So you kind of know.
You kind of know where it's going. Like maybe you don't know the nuances of it, but
no Secret Wars. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like you kind of know where it's going to wind up. It's just like how it's going to get there. And there was a lot in that trailer.
A lot. Overwhelmingly, I think it's talking, but yes, it was very overwhelming in a good way.
Yeah.
But I have to say this: I was intending to go to my local theater to watch it. First of all, they don't have IMAX because Doom has a exclusivity of IMAX for the next 3 weeks during that time. But I was going to go see it at my local theater on the 17th, the day before the actual thing. I'm actually seeing it 11 o'clock on a Friday, the 18th, 40 minutes from where I live, Danbury.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's how bad things were.
Like there was a wait list to get into AMC's app.
Yes.
To buy tickets.
I know. I was a part of that wait list. Drove me crazy. Got me losing my mind over here.
But yeah, I got home like yesterday or the day before, and I said to my wife, I'm like, we need to get our Doomsday tickets. She's like, when is it? I'm like, December. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we need to get the tickets right now.
Yeah, I told my coworkers, I had to get these tickets immediately because literally these tickets are all sold out for the next few days of what's being premiered.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful I got my tickets on there. One last thing, this is random too.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you and Randall touched on it in an episode, but the Odyssey, what's going on with that? Is it worth the hype?
I think it probably is. I mean, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. Like
I do like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I got tickets for this Friday. Like I was trying to get it for last week, but it was sold out everywhere, and they said you have to see it in an IMAX format, so it's okay.
Yeah. So that's good, and I'm glad that it's doing really well, and that it's really pissing people off that it's doing well.
Oh, it's pissing everyone off in every direction.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
We will be back hopefully next week talking about the Butcher's Ball. We don't know that, but I'm hoping that we will be.
Yes, I need to see something interesting.
All right.
Why do they call it the Butcher's Ball? I want to know why by the end of the next episode.
You'll know. All right. We're out. Catch you later.
See ya.